Hello, my name is Visor. Welcome to episode 9 of Let's Play The Witcher 2. Last episode, we did some crafting and we made some really cool swords. There's our new improved silver sword. You can tell it's different by the pommel. And we got a new jagged blade. And you can sort of see that it actually has a jagged blade, which, makes sense for the name. Additionally, I also changed our haircut to a full ponytail, because some viewers wanted to see all the hairstyles, so we could vote on what type of hairstyle Geralt should have for the rest of the game. However, one more bit of gameplay I want to show off right now is the sword upgrades. Now, I already showed off armor upgrades, but of course, swords have their own enhancements. Now, sword upgrades come in two varieties: temporary upgrades and permanent upgrades. Temporary upgrades include stuff like this, which will increase sword damage by 20% for duration of 20 minutes, or more specific upgrades like the necrophage oil, which will allow you to do more damage to necrophages, or the spectral oil, which will let you do more damage to specters. Now, these upgrades will not stack. You can only use one temporary sword upgrade at a time. There are also permanent upgrades. Usually they come in form of runes. We have 4 moon runes, and these will basically allow you to increase your sign damage by 4. Now, the bonus stats on swords only apply when you have them out and unsheathed. So if I upgrade the sign damage on my silver sword, I get 0 benefits when I have the steel sword out, which really does make sense. Now, for all of Chapter 1, this silver sword that we currently have should be ideal. Really should be the best one in Chapter 1. So we can upgrade this with no problems. As for the jagged blade, I was going to upgrade it, but then I did some research, and it turns out one of the missions we're going to do today has a chance, a very small chance, of dropping one of the best swords. And I don't mean one of the best swords for Chapter 1. I mean one of the best swords for the game. Not really sure why they did it this way, but they did it, so we're going to look out for it. And not upgrade our steel sword yet. Now, as you can see, we're currently in the forest. So what we plan to do is head up here. This should be where the Kayran attacked a ship, so we can check out the area for mucus and stuff. Basically what we talked to Cedric about last episode. Because I figure we probably should do some stuff for the main quest, instead of all these side quests. Though we still have a lot of side quests left to do. Now, it's currently midnight, and we're just sort of walking through the forest. And up ahead, we have some bandits. So let's murder the crap out of them. Come to Papa! There we go. 4 swipes, and we take him out with our new sword. Pretty cool. We're probably going to use good old art for this, because otherwise these guys block a lot, and that's just a pain in the ass.
Death to all shit-eaters!
Death to all shit-eaters. That's one hell of a battle cry. Alright, let's just loot these bodies real quick. Then we'll be on our merry way. And as you can see, there's another campfire up there, and we got a few more bandits.
Hit the freak!
That's rude. Luckily, that other bandit decided to take the long way around for some reason. So, that's rather convenient. Makes it a nice one-on-one. Ah, he's blocking. Uh-oh. That's not gonna help us. Yeah, I need to aim those ignis better. But other than that, fairly simple. The new blade's working out pretty well. Now, I don't know if you noticed the stats on the jagged blade, but not only is it highest in terms of raw damage, it also has 2 other effects. It has a 15% chance of causing a bleeding effect, and a 10% chance to poison the target. So, pretty nifty, really. Oh, there's Triss.
I wonder what's left of that wreck Cedric mentioned.
If the Kayran attacked the boat, it's not likely to be much. We're looking for traces of the beast, not boats.
So yeah, we're just gonna go with Triss for a nice nighttime stroll through this spooky-ass forest. And that's about it for this path, actually. Nothing really happens. I mean, it's fairly pretty during, sunrise. It's kind of gloomy right now, but not much goes on here. It's not even anything to loot or enemies. Really, she's only here to lead you down this path, because otherwise you'd probably pass it over and over. Though it does kind of make you wonder, how does she bypass all those bandits? Anyway, there's the busted ships, so let's check out what's going on.
See those footprints?
Yeah, strange place for an evening walk.
Unless you're looking for adventure.
All right. So let's see who's out here.
Medallion's vibrating.
You can sort of see those things out in the distance. Those are some nice drowners. We dealt with them before. Let's try out some of our new Igni damage. I think the bonus sign damage is working out pretty well.
Nice to run into some old friends.
Almost brings a tear to your eye.
Let's examine the traces of the Kayran and get out of here.
All right. Now, there's this weird thing over here. I'm not sure what it's supposed to mean.
A ram stuffed with sulfur and a dead cobbler. Straight out of Eastern legends. Not good enough for the Kayran, though.
Now, I'm not sure if the cobbler brought this out here, or he was killed and brought out here to lure off the Kayran. Not really sure what type of superstition this is. But anyway, what we're interested in is all this gooey crap over here. This is the Kayran mucus.
Wait a minute.
What are you going to do?
Cast a simple diagnostic spell. It should answer a few questions.
Hopefully she doesn't get another nosebleed. We're not carrying her out of here.
This monster's sick, Geralt. It's dying.
How much time does it have left?
A few years, perhaps a decade and change.
Too long. What's wrong with it? Any information could be useful.
The diagnostic spell showed that some of the cells in its body have mutated.
Well, you know, being a mutant's not all bad. You get these really cool eyes.
What makes you think it's dying? I mean, I'm a mutant.
The mucus cells I diagnosed are very similar to cancer cells. In some ways, they're more effective than healthy cells, but they're out of control. They converge to create a red tissue. Very unpleasant.
The poor thing.
But you brought up an interesting point. Want to know the core difference between mutants and non-mutants?
Sure.
Of course I do.
The changes made through alchemy and magic in your body would require thousands of years to develop on their own. This development would result from genetic errors that would cause your body to adapt, become a more efficient organism, effectively mutate, but over a very long time. When this development occurs over millennia, across multiple generations, we proudly call it natural selection, evolution. When it occurs quickly, in a single organism or a few representatives of a species, we frown on it as mutation.
And here I thought you liked me. What else?
The Kayran's highly venomous.
Any ideas for an antidote?
Your Witcher's metabolism should neutralize small doses of the toxin. But if I were you, I wouldn't rely on my mutations alone. An Ostmark potion should do the trick.
I know the herb, but haven't the faintest where I might find it around here. I need to figure out how I want to fight the Kayran. Maybe I won't need the potion.
Do what you will, but don't say I didn't warn you. Sheila might be eager to get this done, but before you go see her, ask some of the locals about Ostmark. You could try Cedric. Here's the formula for the potion. I need to take care of some things. Manage without me for a while?
Mm-hmm.
See you.
So, now you know how she always gets ahead of you. She can do that. Anyway, what I thought was the most interesting part of that conversation was all the anachronisms. Like she was talking about evolution and natural selection. It's like, whoa, this is kind of weird for a medieval fantasy anyway. But still pretty cool. Anyway, we're going to quickly loot this area and then go bother Cedric again. I promise nothing will happen on my walk through the forest, except maybe me getting lost. Alright, so we found Cedric again. Let's ask him a few questions. First up, of course, is the Ostmark.
Cedric, I need some Ostmark. It's a rare variety of moss, grows underground.
I know it. There are some caves to the south, deep in the woods. If Ostmark grows anywhere in the area, it will be there.
Alright, but we're not done yet. We still need to ask him a few other things.
I need to make a few orans. You wouldn't happen to have a job for a witcher, would you?
There's never a shortage of work for a witcher in this forest. It's positively teeming with beasts. Though I'm not surprised they come here in droves.
Know why that is?
Cursed places attract all sorts of scum, like dung attracts flies. There was once a great house in the clearing. They locked up lunatics there. During the war with Nilfgaard, it was raised in a fire. The lunatics broiled in their cells. The ruins remain cursed to this day. 2 daredevils went off to explore the ruins recently. They haven't been seen since.
A great house, you say. Tell me more about the building itself.
It was an old manor house that was converted into a mental institution. There was no shortage of lunatics in wartime. They just kept coming. Reverend Mercier locked them up in there and looked after them. If you find the 2 people lost in the ruins of the mental asylum, you stand to be handsomely rewarded. By them or their families.
Well, that's a little ominous. But still, we need the money. We spent a lot of our money crafting these new swords. But let's do it.
No harm in trying.
So, I think we're going to first go get the Osmark. It's the simpler of the two. And we're actually going somewhere we've been to before. Alright, here we are at the waterfall. Now, we passed by this place before when we were doing the other quests. But you can actually go into the waterfall. There's a cave system hidden behind it. And in this cave system should be where we find the Osmark, as well as some other nasty bits and pieces. You might be able to hear them already. You can hear them rumbling and digging about. There they are. Awesome. Now, with our improved sign damage, Igni almost one-shots these little bastards, which is pretty cool. But you know, almost isn't quite good enough yet. Now, Igni does have a max range. I think it's currently just around 5 meters. So that's why it sort of fizzles out. Oh, there's a warrior. Uh-oh, we're gonna get cornered. Boom. Rape shot. Never leave home without it. Is there any more of them? Oh, there comes another one. Any more? Oh. Yeah, this cave is just crawling with it. And there's also a dead body here. Has some cash and some nice daggers that we can't throw yet. We'll loot the other bodies as we leave the caves. Oh, another one. There still should be a few more of these scattered about. Maybe some in this dead end right here? No? I can't remember where they all spawn. Anyway, where we need to go is onto this ledge over here. Onto the ledge. Come on, do it. And there should be some more stuff. Nice mail enhancement. Not like, well, no, not that type of mail. You know what I'm saying. That's a different noise. That's a new monster. It's a necrophage, which is sort of like a monster that lives in dead bodies. Sometimes reanimates them. And these things are fairly dangerous, especially in short-range combat. Oh, yeah, that's what makes them dangerous. They explode in that pus of poison. Anyway, this is what we came to get. Osmark. Excellent. Now we can leave the caves and loot all these bodies that we have lying about. Though we can also make the Osmark potion right now. Or, sorry, the Mongoose potion. Yeah, we'll make the potion, then we'll go to the haunted house. Because that should be fun at the dead of night. Alright, here we are.
Some help, finally. I thought I was done for.
What's wrong?
I'm fine, but my friend remains in that damned hospital.
Cedric told me that 2 people went missing near the burnt mansion.
I'm Rupert Brandhuber. I'm a medic from Edda, and I came here with a friend to look for a very rare species of herbs.
These woods aren't the best place for herb picking.
So we were warned. But the temptation was too great. We got as far as the site of the fire. No sign of herbs, but there was something downstairs. Something. What's that? Can you hear it? That's Grindley's dog. Feel that? Something approaches. Help us!
All right. So we're gonna go here, and there's gonna be more neckers. These are a little different though. These are supposed to be crazed neckers. Though I think from a stat standpoint, they're pretty much identical to the normal neckers. Let's try to go and save the dog. We can always loot these bodies later on. And we just got a circle of power. Very cool. Exactly what we needed. Yeah, by the way, there's actually no way to save the dog. Every time you get around here, the dog dies. Unfortunate. Now, what we're supposed to do is head down there. But before we do that, there's something else we need to do. We're going to chug down some potions. Because the enemies down there in the hospital are actually kind of tough. And they can be hard to handle if you're not prepared. So we'll just drink the same potions as the last episode, and that should do. Ah, that neck crack. Looks like it'd be really comfortable. Anyway, while we're preparing, we should also upgrade our sword a little bit. Now this will be a temporary upgrade on our silver sword. Specifically, we're going to be using the Spectre oil. Like I said, it's a haunted house. There's some specters in it. It's going to last 5 minutes? Yeah. Anyway, let's head on down in there. So far fairly normal. A little broken down. And suddenly not normal.
They should not have done it. Other than those here they were. Oh, the greed!
Well, that was different. Anyway, let's follow it. Because that's always the best plan in a haunted house. Okay, fairly normal so far. Some things here. And something in this crate. Some hospital files. And that's where these things come out. These are specters. And they're actually kind of tough. If they get behind you anyway.
Guess I'll never learn.
Yeah, I actually died a bunch of times trying to do this without all these potions. Rather tough. And another thing people would do is, actually, you know those snares I used last episode? They would just cover this place with snares and use that to kill the specters. Really, you can do that for pretty much any predictable enemies. It is a little too cheap, and I don't plan to continue doing it. However, I do want to show off some of these hospital files. They're kind of interesting. This is hospital file 3. So the patient has dysentery. There's no hope for him now. God damn, it's like the Oregon Trail all over again. And really, there's not much they can do for him except feed him more herbs and pray. Because, you know, not exactly very advanced in medicine. Let's see what this guy's all about. Ooh, that's not normal. You know, let's keep exploring.
They needn't have done it. Those here were innocents. And I...
Well, that was almost a coherent thought.
I'm not about to play with fire.
12 fever, shakes, dilated pupils. Has there been any stool?
Yeah, these are all ghosts, I guess. Very disturbing place. Anyway, let's head on down.
Involuntary cramps of the...
And more specters. So let's position ourselves properly. Oh. We really need to not get cornered. A little bit of fire. Distracts him a little. Whew, okay. And down here, more files. Which I will take as soon as it lets me. And you can still hear all the crazy ramblings in the background. Personally, I'm not really sure what they're talking about.
Is it mine?
Granted, I'm not listening too carefully because if I pay attention and it starts making sense, maybe I'm crazy. Who knows? Come on, I know there's stuff here. So, another hospital file. This one is Hospital File 1. So, some woman manifests strong symptoms of schizophrenia. However, to avoid marring her beauty, the guy decided not to employ the standard therapy, a red hot circlet, but instead to increase her herb dosage. Because more herbs is obviously the solution. And apparently she's really aggressive, so she had to be chained down. I don't know. I don't think this treatment's working. Granted, the red hot circlet probably wouldn't have worked either. Anyway, let's keep exploring and follow that ghost.
I beg you, help! Give me some medicine! They deserve to suffer! I'm in pain! I beg you, help! Give me some medicine!
That's a little weird. However, there's something really cool here. You see this wall here? We can use ARD and bust it open. And this is where there's a chance to find one of the best swords in the game. But it's random loot, so and it usually doesn't happen.
Give me some medicine!
Oh, let me loot. That's all I want to do. Now, it looks like this time we got some sort of cocktail. Oh, it's an armor enhancement. I guess it's not bad, but really, we can make a better armor enhancement than this already. Remember the whole diamond armor enhancement? It's 2 armor plus 10 vitality. So, even though this is supposed to be epic, it's not that special. You know, let's keep on going. Ah, who's this guy?
Leave me be! Away with you!
Control yourself.
It's not my fault. It wasn't me, not me.
What's not your fault?
Fire. Fire everywhere. It wasn't meant to happen. I didn't want that, I swear.
Won't get much out of you until I calm you down. Maybe the fire didn't consume everything. Maybe I can find some medicine. A sedative.
Go away!
Alright, let's find that sedative. But first, we're going to check out this area here. More spooky ghosts. We'll get another sign. Circle of Endurance, which I believe gives us more armor. And not much else here. Anyway, let's go find those pills. Ah, this shall do. Oh, more ghosts. Beautiful. Now, there should be a second one. There it is.
Monsters.
There we go. Now, there's also a few more records in this room here. Let's see. First of all, the hospital files 2. So, one of the older residents here is not showing any sort of improvement. So, what's the solution? More herbs. Additionally, they have him chained down and feed him less to make him better? Again, not really sure the guy in charge knows what he's doing. However, there's also medical notes on patient 15. Now, this one's a bit more interesting because apparently this guy is delusional, and he claims he was abducted by the Wild Hunt. And this is relevant to Geralt because Geralt had that nightmare about the Wild Hunt in the beginning cinematics. Of course, he also claims a bunch of other stuff, so how much of it's relevant and truthful, we may never know. At least not yet. Anyway, we got the medicine, so let's go back to Gridley.
What's going on? Where am I?
Easy. Rupert asked me to find you.
Rupert lives.
Listen, you and your friend. I don't get it yet, but you aren't telling the truth. That's painfully apparent. This place seems to have a very dark past, one you had a hand in. Do you understand me?
Yes.
Great. So now you can tell me the story and don't skip a thing.
Story?
There's always a story, Gridley. Spit it out.
We're former soldiers, fought for Eden during one of the wars with Nilfgaard, times long past. I was Rupert's adjutant in the field hospital that our unit set up in this manor house. We didn't at all mind who lived here. In fact, the inmates were friendly. At the outset, that is. One day our scouts captured a Nilfgaardian. He was desperate to win his freedom and claimed he was part of a detachment that had concealed the booty looted in Eden. We couldn't believe our fortune. Thought the gods had smiled upon us. We'd heard incredible tales of this treasure, questioned any black one we'd captured. It seemed all our efforts would finally be rewarded.
We decided to make him talk.
By torturing him?
Our commander wanted to break him on the wheel, but Rupert said he knew a better way. There's a local herb. If you brew and drink it, you can only tell the truth.
The commander interrogated the prisoner, drawing a map in the process. And we celebrated, talked of how we would divide the treasure, and took ever greater liberties with the patients. The priest looking after them began to protest, and one of our boys split his head open.
Nice, Gridley. Keep talking and I just might let you go alive and intact. What happened next?
Once the prisoner revealed where the treasure was hidden, the commander had him quartered in front of the lunatics. They'd shown signs of madness before. When they smelled blood, well, we could not control them. Many we simply had to cut down. I don't even know how the fire broke out.
Any of the patients survive?
A young woman we managed to pull from the burning building. She was nice, quiet, and willing. 2 nights later, she slit our commander's throat, and that was all we saw of her, and of the map, of course. The war was ongoing, and shifting fronts forced us to abandon our search for her soon after.
And here you are, back after many years. Really think you can still find her around here?
Life's not treated me well since then, and Rupert's had it even worse. This is our chance to reverse our fortunes. Fate smiled upon us once. Perhaps by some strange chance it still holds us in favor.
I wouldn't count on that. I think we're dealing with one heavy curse here. And it looks like we need to start by finding that Nilfgaardian's corpse.
Go away!
Leave me be! Away
Okay, let's keep following that Nilfgaardian ghost.
A wolf leading wolves.
What do you want, Spectre? Their deaths?
2 of 20 return, but none remain. Yet one shall judge them. If he is merciful, he will feed them to the dead. If he is cruel, he will grant them what they came for.
A prophecy. I should have expected as much.
Bring me their hearts, so I may feast on their cowardice. Bring me their eyes, so I may spit in them before they are forever extinguished.
Is that your offer? Fine. I'll lift this curse one way or another.
Okay, so that's dramatic. You know what, let's head out of here. Well, actually, there's one more little bit we can do. Should be a chest. Ah, right here. Alright, so we got another hospital file. This time it's hospital file 4. And this is actually a repeat. This is about patient number 14 again. Remember the beautiful girl that they didn't want to put a hot circlet on. So apparently she has a lot of childhood problems, a lot of trauma. But despite all that knowledge, it doesn't really change the treatment. All he does is give her more herbs. But this time he included a herb that also only tells the truth. Not sure why that's relevant, but maybe the truth will set her free. Anyway, let's head on out of here and find Gridley again.
And
I met the Nilfgaardian's ghost. Let's find your comrade.
Gridley, you live. What happened down there?
I found the ghost of the Emperor's soldier.
You're the Witcher. Get rid of it.
Alright, so we have a few options here. We can take them down there to the ghost, and they'll probably be killed. Or we can try to save them. Now, as a Witcher, I'm supposed to be dealing with the dead, not feeding the dead. At least that's how I understand it. So let's not do that. Let's take care of the ghost instead.
The ghost wants revenge. It brought you here to the scene of the crime. It'll lift the curse in return for you.
By the gods, you'll not help him, will you?
The ghost wants your hearts and your eyes.
Gods, you must trick him. Surely you know a way.
I could pull the hearts out of some neckers. Thing is, I'm wondering if it's worth it.
Witcher, I beg you, do what you must. Go see the butcher for some pig's eyes and hearts, anything. You'll not send us to a cruel death.
Pig hearts? I suppose there'd be some poetic justice in that.
Yeah. Well, luckily, since I've been murdering Necker since last episode, I do have plenty of Necker eyes and hearts, so let's give the ghost that. See how he likes it. And now he's down there, being all spooky-like and stuff. And this is where the game glitches. So pretty much every time I play this bit, I could not interact with a ghost no matter what I did. I wasn't really sure why. Then I checked online. Turns out I have to turn on Uber sampling, which is a version of anti-aliasing, for me to be able to interact with him. Why? I don't fucking know, but that's what you need to do if you're playing the game and you run across the same glitch. Anyway, give me a sec while I turn on Uber sampling. Alright, here we are again with Uber sampling on. And honestly, it does make the game look better, but I can't run it when I'm wandering the world. Like in small indoor areas, I still hit 60 FPS, but if I'm wandering the world, I get massive frame drops. Like I'm hitting 25 FPS, and that's just not acceptable for me. Anyway, let's talk with the ghost.
You return.
With hearts and eyes. And now you'll swear an oath. Once I give you what I've brought, you'll release your hold on this place.
Not so fast, Witcher.
I want a pact. I want you to swear on this curse. Then keep your word, or your lust for revenge will go unsatisfied forever.
I'll trust you. Let shadows withdraw into darkness. Let madness be soothed. Let what has died be buried. Let this place that was cursed be so no more. Now, give me what you've brought. Fool, who knows not that the dead cannot be deceived. You sought to rob me of my revenge. Dog, you shall share the fate of those thieves.
I'll admit, I'm actually not sure what's the best weapon to be hitting him with. I'm hoping it's the silver sword. I mean, it seems to work pretty well. There we go. And if we loot his body, we will get a repeat for some reason. We'll get hospital file 4 again. And I did make sure it is 4, it's not like 6 or something. Anyway, let's go back to those two idiots and turn off Uber sampling.
I destroyed the Nilfgaardian soldier's ghost.
Thank you, Witcher.
Now, you have a few options here. You can tell them to go away, or you can say they have to be punished. I would not tell them to go away. You don't get any EXP for this one. So, let's get them punished.
I've lifted the curse, but the perpetrators must be punished.
What are you going to do?
I'll take you to Laredo. Let him pass judgment.
No, not him. Just not him. We'll not go anywhere.
Shut up.
Halt! Who you got there?
Murderers. Laredo needs to judge them.
Get out of here. Look at him acting like a constable.
Guests? How nice. Bring him to me. We shall talk about the good old days.
Well, that's a little ominous. That fine lady was Laredo's mother. Let's see. Did she just talk about they're going to talk about the good old days? And was she wearing a circlet of flowers? A lot of things going on there. But anyway, that's it for this episode. Next episode, we're probably not going to focus on the Kayran yet. There's another set of side quests I want to do, but then we'll handle the Kayran. Probably. But anyway, until then, thank you for watching, and hope to see you guys next time.